Well guys, Gwyneth Paltrow and I have absolutely zero things in common, but in today's episode of What I Eat in a Day, I am going to be eating like her. Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. So today I am doing another celebrity What I Eat in a Day. I've done 2 of these already and they're super fun. I've done one on Martha Stewart and one on Ashley Graham. I can link those videos down below. But today we are eating like Gwyneth Paltrow because why not? I thought it would be pretty bougie and fun. So this video is going to be based on her Harper's Bazaar original What I Eat video, which I can link down below if you want that for reference. But basically I'm just going to be following along with her for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, and whatever else I decide to take from her. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing that Gwyneth does when she wakes up in the morning is she does oil pulling. And I've heard of this before, but I really had to look it up because I am not this bougie. I have no idea what this kind of stuff is, but apparently it is swishing coconut oil around in your mouth, and apparently it does have some antibacterial properties. I'm not sure of like the medical evidence on that. I haven't done any research on that, but apparently some people do it as like a more like natural way to get rid of bacteria in your mouth. So I've never done this before. We're gonna try it, and I have zero high hopes that I'm going to enjoy it, but she says while she does this, she's gonna open her curtains. That's a no. That is a complete and total no from me. I personally will stick to my Listerine mouthwash, but I'm glad I tried it. So we narrowly escaped the coconut oil pulling. So seriously, if any of you guys do that, let me know. I can't. I don't think I can do that because like it's just in my head that I'm just like swishing my mouth with oil, and I'm just like not. I don't think I can do it. But if any of you guys do it, I would love to know. But anyway, the next thing that she does is she sits at the kitchen table and checks her emails. As you can see, it's a beautiful morning out here. My kids have not woken up yet, so I made myself a cold brew coffee. She did not say how she takes her coffee. She just said she sits at the kitchen table and checks her emails and drinks a couple glasses of water and some coffee. So I have some water here, I have some coffee. I'm just gonna go ahead and check some of my emails, and we'll be back in a little bit when it's time for breakfast. All right, so Gwyneth says she is not a huge breakfast eater, and honestly, a lot of days, neither am I. And so this is the time before work that she goes to the gym and gets some more hydration in. I am not going to the gym, but I'm getting ready to start my work day. If I work out, it's usually in the evenings. That's just when I prefer to do it and when I have the most energy to do it. But I would love to hear what you do down below. Would you rather get up and do it first thing in the morning, or would you rather do it in the evening? This is also the time that she has some of her like brand's glow powder, whatever that is. So fun fact, I looked up this glow powder online, and it is, depending on the size package you get, it's either $60 or $100. So I did not order any of that, but I have a fantastic substitute for you. So Your Super is sponsoring today's video. You guys know I've been working with them for a long time, and I love using their superfood powders in my smoothies and some recipes, but recently they have a new product, and it's called Gut Feeling. So they sent this to me about 3 weeks ago, and I've been using it religiously ever since, and I have to tell you, it's fabulous. I love it. Let me tell you a little bit more about it. So Your Super actually reached out to their customers and asked what functional superfood mixes would they be interested in purchasing, and the #1 response that they got was gut health products. So Gut Feeling is a prebiotic superfood mix in a bottle, and it's basically instant celery juice. So if you're looking for something that's gonna give you all of the benefits of celery juice and more, but you don't wanna actually juice celery each morning, this is the perfect product for you. Gut health supports your digestive health and also supports the growth of healthy bacteria and digestive enzymes. The thing that I really like about it is that it's high in dietary fiber, so just 1 teaspoon of the mix has 4 grams of dietary fiber, which is 20% of your daily recommended intake. I have really noticed over the last several weeks of taking this that my bloating is reduced. Without going into too much detail, I also uploaded a video last summer about how I was in the hospital with a bowel obstruction, and so it's very, very important that I pay attention to my fiber intake, and this helps me do that. It does contain digestive enzymes, both protease and amylase, and all you have to do is stir it into water and drink. Gut Feeling contains a bunch of superfood powders, including celery powder. It also includes Jerusalem artichoke, lemon balm, lemon, ginger, which can also reduce bloating and help digestion, and it also includes apple, which contains the soluble fiber and reduces constipation. It's only 10 calories per teaspoon and has 0 grams of added sugar. And I really like it because you can taste the apple in it, and it doesn't taste like some of those like gritty fiber supplements that you sometimes take. So I would definitely recommend this. Like I said, I think it has helped with my bloating and other related issues quite fabulously. And honestly, if you're someone who struggles to get your recommended daily amount of vegetables, I would totally recommend this product. I have been using this in conjunction with attempting to increase my vegetable intake. One of the reasons that I like this too is that it helps me get my water in the morning. So usually the first thing I do when I get up after I get ready is I come downstairs, and a lot of times, like before I started using this, I was actually drinking a can of soda before I would have my coffee in the morning, which is like the dumbest thing ever. Like, why am I doing that? You wake up thirsty in the morning, and it was just the first thing I grabbed out of the fridge. But what I've been doing now is drinking this before I drink my coffee. That way I actually am hitting my hydration goals as well. So I just put a teaspoon of the powder in a mason jar and shake it up with really cold water, and then I just chug before I drink my coffee. So if you guys want to check out Gut Feeling, it is Your Super's newest superfood powder. I'll have a link in the description box below. You can use my code Chapin to get 15% off your first order. Actually, I believe if you use my code, you're gonna get a month's supply for less than $30, which is fantastic. And yes, they did send this product to me, but I will be repurchasing it on my own when this particular container is done. All right, so I'm gonna get to work, and I will catch up with you for our morning smoothie in a little bit. All right, so it is now time for breakfast, and I am going to make a smoothie. So Gwyneth says that she normally gets her smoothies from, I think it's a grocery store in LA called Erewhon. She said that she likes to get a smoothie with a lot of good fat and protein and fiber. She mentioned having cacao and almond butter and spinach in her smoothie. So I did look on their website to see if I could find anything similar, and I did find a similar smoothie. So that's what I'm going to make this morning based off of those ingredients. I have some unsweetened almond milk here. Thankfully, Your Super chocolate lover has cacao powder in it, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that. You guys have heard me talk about this before. It's one of my favorites. I don't really prefer to put protein powder in my smoothies. I like the plant collagen from Your Super a lot better, so I'm gonna put a couple spoonfuls of that as well. I have some fresh spinach, some almond butter, and then I have some bananas that I had in the freezer. I prefer to put frozen fruit in my smoothies just because I feel like it gives it a thicker texture and it doesn't water it down like ice. Okay, so this is normally the blender that I use for smoothies. It's just like NutriBullet that I got at Costco, nothing fancy. So I'm gonna put in probably about the equivalent of 1 frozen banana, some spinach. The good thing about putting spinach in a smoothie is that it gives you like a lot of good nutrients and you don't even taste it. A good tip too if you want to get some spinach in your kids. I'm going to put a spoonful of almond butter in there. Have you guys ever tried this almond butter? It's really good. It's called Barney butter. It's like really good, smooth almond butter. Okay, I'm going to put in a spoonful of chocolate lover powder and a spoonful of the plant collagen, usually just about 2 teaspoons. I don't really measure it out. And then I normally like to drink my smoothies through a straw, so I typically will make them a little bit thinner, but obviously you can make yours as thin or as thick as you like. All right, so that turned out a lot greener than I thought it was going to, but I did put a lot of spinach in there, so oh well. Do you think Gwyneth also has a fancy mason jar from Joe's Crab Shack to drink her smoothie out of like me? Doubt it. Way cooler. All right, let's give the old smoothie a taste. That's good. All right, so I'm gonna drink this. And then she also said that she sometimes has a perfect bar. If you guys have never seen these, they have them in like the refrigerated section. I'm gonna try this one. It's the chocolate hazelnut crisp. So I'll have probably half that smoothie. I'll split the other half with Connor, and then I'll have a perfect bar. So this is my first time trying the chocolate hazelnut crisp perfect bar. It's really good. I would definitely recommend it. I also forgot to mention that the Erewhon smoothie that Gwyneth gets is like $14. That's LA for you, right? Paying $14 for a smoothie. This is much cheaper than that. All right, it is time for lunch. Gwyneth said she normally eats lunch at work around 12:30. So that is what I am doing as well. And she, I guess, has a test kitchen for Goop, which is her lifestyle brand, I guess you could call it, in her office. So she said she normally has something that they're recipe testing. So like normally a salad with a protein or something like that. So I actually looked on her website and there's actually quite a few good recipes on there, like healthier recipes. I think it's definitely a good resource if you're looking for some of those. So all of her recipes that I use, I'll link down below. But I am going to make this recipe that I found on her site for arugula salad with fennel crusted salmon and avocado, just because I had most of the things on hand. So this is what I decided to make. So for the salad component, you'll need some salmon, some baby arugula, or you could use any kind of greens that you have, some fennel seed, and the recipe calls to smash it with like a mortar and pestle. I don't have one of those. I need to actually probably get one. So I'm going to use a Ziploc bag and a meat mallet instead. I have an avocado that may be a little bit questionable inside, we'll see, and then a bulb of fennel that we're going to cut up for the salad as well. And then there are some additional dressing ingredients that I'll share with you in a second. Okay, so I have some salmon here that I've thawed out and dried, and I'm going to season that generously with some salt and pepper. By the way, a lot of you guys ask me about this pepper mill. I love it. I can link it down below. I got it on Amazon. It's something I wanted for a long time and I just never invested in it until last year. Okay, so the recipe calls for some crushed fennel seed, about 2 teaspoons. So since I don't have a mortar and pestle, I could use my coffee grinder, but I sometimes hate mixing like the coffee grinder with the spices. You have to clean it out, it's just a pain. So I'm just gonna crush these. Okay, and then once that is mostly crushed, I'm just gonna sprinkle it on the salmon. If you've never kind of like crushed or ground your own spices before, they are super flavorful, like way more flavorful than buying the pre-ground spices. So looking forward to trying this. If you never had fennel before, it sort of has like a licorice-y flavor, which I know sounds weird, but it's delicious. So I've got a nonstick skillet here. I'm just gonna put like a little drizzle of avocado oil in there, and once that's preheated, we'll add the fish. Okay, so I'm gonna cut up my fennel. It says to thinly slice this with a mandolin, but I'm not gonna dirty one just for that, so I'll slice it myself. If you've never had raw fennel before, it does have a pretty strong flavor, so definitely use it sparingly until you know kind of, you know, whether you like it or not. And then I have this avocado, which I'm honestly kind of scared to open on camera because I feel like it feels a little bit soft. So we'll see. Oh, yeah. I think we can salvage a little bit out of this. I'll see what I can do. There's a little bit of good left in there. Actually, I take that back. I smelled it. We're gonna have to leave the avocado out. Sorry, Gwyneth. I should have got another one at the store, but when I was making my grocery list, I looked over at the fruit bowl and I was like, oh, I have an avocado. That'll be fine. Okay, so my skillet is preheated. I'm going to put the salmon flesh side down, and we'll just sear this on either side. Probably, I don't know, maybe about 4 minutes on each side, and then we'll remove it from the pan to rest. All right, sorry for the vent hood. We're gonna give these a turn. Ooh, that looks good. Then I'll cook them on the other side. I have a plate back here that I'll just rest them on when we're done. So for the dressing, these are the ingredients that you'll need. About 1 tablespoon of grated ginger, some lime juice, 1/4 cup of that, 2 tablespoons of grapefruit juice, which I thought was kind of unique, some olive oil, some minced chives. Pro tip, if you have chives and you plant them like out on your deck, they're actually a perennial, so they'll come back each year. So just a tip there if you want to do that. And they like require literally no upkeep. They will grow even if they're neglected. And then I also have some salt and pepper. All right, so the best thing about chives is that you can just snip them right into your bowl. You don't even have to cut them. If you don't have a good pair of kitchen shears, I would definitely recommend getting some. They are super useful. So for the ginger, I do happen to have fresh ginger in the refrigerator. But if you don't, they sell actually the ginger paste, sort of like the garlic paste in those tubes, which is actually really good. I've used it before. All right, that's close enough to 1 tablespoon. All right, then we're gonna need 1/4 cup of lime juice. 6 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of grapefruit juice. So I wonder if this will be enough. We'll see. Ta-da! I'm just gonna season with salt and pepper. This is a very interesting vinaigrette. And I'm gonna whisk it to combine. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys how the salmon turned out. It looks really, really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and build my salad. I have my arugula here. I'm just gonna put a bit of that. I'll probably kind of tear it up a little bit so it's easier to eat. So the only thing I'm really missing from the recipe is the avocado. And I'm gonna add about half of that fennel that I chopped up. Okay, I'm gonna drizzle some of the dressing over here. I'm kind of thinking I might add some crunch, maybe some nuts or something. I'll have to see what I have in the pantry. And then I'm just gonna kind of flake the salmon and kind of arrange it over the top of the salad since I don't want the skin on this particular dish. Okay, so this might sound weird, but I'm gonna try it anyway. I have some smoked almonds that I'm gonna put on there. I just crushed them up a little bit. I don't know, I always just feel like I need some kind of crunch with my salad. All right, so here it is, lunch. Arugula salad with fennel crusted salmon. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat this and I'll let you guys know what I think about it, but it does look delicious. I think Gwyneth would be proud. All right, so I just finished my salad for lunch and I wanted to update you guys on what I thought. I thought it was really good. I would definitely recommend that recipe. I feel like maybe, if I had to rate it, I would give 4 out of 5 stars, and here's why. I think it's a really unique flavor combination, like the grapefruit with the fennel and the arugula and the salmon, really, really good. I almost feel like it needs a little bit of sweetness. So if I made it again, I might add like some chopped apple, I think would be really good in it, or maybe some craisins or something like that, just because the citrus vinaigrette is so tart. I feel like it needs something sweet to balance it out. But other than that, it was really good. I always love salmon, and if you are scared to cook salmon at home, don't be. It's super easy. All you have to do is sear it, let it rest. The only tip I would say also that I don't think I mentioned is make sure that you pat it dry really well before you season and sear it. Otherwise, you won't get that like crispy crust on the outside. So that was lunch. Delicious. I'm just going to drink some water. She didn't really say what she drinks throughout the day. I assume water, maybe water and vodka martinis. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, I'm gonna go back to work and I'll let you guys know when it is snack time. All right, so it's about 3:30 and this is the time when Gwyneth says she likes to have an afternoon snack. She, of course, has an office with like a kitchen in it. I have never worked in such a place that had an office with a kitchen in it, except for now when I work from home, I have a pantry, so how's that for fancy? Anyway, but what she says she normally likes to have for a snack is something salty. So she says she normally has some cashews or some pretzels, which I actually think I have both of those, if I can get this without spilling it. Yes, I found some pretzels too. I wonder if she has something like way fancier than rolled gold pretzels, or if these are acceptable. All right, so I've got a bowl so I can take my snacks back upstairs to work with me. It's probably bigger than 1 serving of cashews, but oh well, I'll save them for later if I don't eat them all. Now, if this were my snack, like I was choosing it, I would add some cheese in there because I feel like you just need some cheese with the snack, but I'm gonna refrain since it's eating like Gwyneth Day. So the other thing that Gwyneth says she has with her snack is some green tea. She didn't say whether she drinks hot or cold green tea. I'm gonna go ahead and interpret it as cold, and the only reason for that is that I don't really care for hot tea all that much. The only time I really drink it is when I'm like sick or have a sore throat or something like that. So I grabbed this diet citrus green tea. It's Lipton brand. If you've never had it, it's pretty good. It's sugar-free. It only has 5 calories. So if you're looking for, you know, a substitute for soda or something like that, it is definitely delicious. It's been a long time since I've had it, so go ahead and have that. All right, so here's my afternoon snack. Pretzels, cashews, some green tea, and she said this normally holds her over till dinner, so I'll see you guys then. All right, guys, so I am back. It is time for dinner. I am done with my work day. So Gwyneth says that, quote, she gets really geriatric about dinner. And I think what she means by that is the time she eats dinner. So I always feel like when people say that they're eating dinner at 5 or 6, that like sometimes they think that that's early. I personally think, I mean, that's around the time that we eat, usually around 6. It depends what the kids have going on. So she did mention that her son is in sports, and so they kind of have to eat around that, which is very relatable to me because that's also what we have to do. My kids are actually in summer swim team this summer, so every night at least one of them has swim practice, and then Connor's involved in a few different activities at the Y, basketball and some track courses and different things like that. So needless to say, we always have a very busy dinner time, but Adam and I usually try to tag team, and sometimes I'll drop kids off, come back home, start dinner, and then he'll pick them up. So that's kind of what we're gonna throw together tonight, and then if anyone gets home late, they can just reheat their dinner. So she said really that her kids like to have some type of like Asian fish with noodles and then maybe a veggie on the side. She also mentioned like some one-pot dinners on her website, like recipes that are available. So what I did was I went on her site and I found some different recipes to make tonight. I was gonna like get Panda Express, but then I thought like, who really wants to see me get Panda Express? You guys wanna see me cook something. So let me show you what I'm gonna make. So I tried to find a recipe on her site for like an Asian inspired fish dish, I guess you could say, and I couldn't really find what I was looking for. So I just went on a different site and found this. I can link it down below. It's a ginger soy fish recipe. So it uses halibut. So I'm going to make that. And then for the noodles, she said that her kids just kind of like a plain or a vegetarian version of noodles because she has a daughter that's vegetarian. So I found this sesame noodles recipe on the Goop website. So I'm going to make that. And then along with that, we're just going to steam up some good old broccoli. Pro tip, by the way, broccoli stores wonderfully in an old strawberry container. Did you know that? This is like my favorite method of storing broccoli now after I wash it. I just like get it home from the store, chop it up, wash it, put it in a old strawberry container. It's a great way to recycle and keeps really well, and it psychs people out when they see it in your fridge. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so I've gone ahead and steamed my broccoli. That's just gonna kind of go ahead and rest there while I cook the rest of dinner. So this is the udon noodles that I boiled, and I'm kind of just letting them sit here. I need to drain them, but this is a super simple recipe for these sesame noodles. So I just have some mirin, which if you're not familiar with that, it's just like a rice cooking wine, some coconut aminos. The original recipe calls for tamari, but I'm gonna substitute this because that's what I have open. Some sesame oil and some furikake. So I ordered this on Amazon because I can't find it around here. I actually ordered it when I did my vegan challenge. So I'm gonna make the sesame noodle sauce in the bowl. So I'm just adding my coconut aminos and the mirin, and then 3 tablespoons of sesame oil. And you can also add the scallions to this, but I think I'm going to leave those out and we'll just top the noodles with it just because my kids are not always wild about the green onion part. All right, these smell super good. So I just drained the noodles and tossed it with the sauce, and I'm just gonna kind of cover this and set it aside while I make the fish. It won't take very long to make the fish at all. So the fish recipe calls for some halibut, which I have here, and I've just kind of cut it into smaller pieces, and then just to coat it in some cornstarch. So I just have a Ziploc bag here. I think that's probably the easiest way to do it. So I'm just gonna place these in the bag and kind of shake it around a little bit. Okay, so I've got a skillet here with some oil, and what I'm gonna do first is saute some ginger in the oil. I've just kind of chopped this up, and then I'll remove that, set it aside, and then we'll have kind of like ginger flavored oil to saute the fish in. All right, so I added the fish to the skillet. This is the ginger that I took out. So I'm going to brown this on both sides. I actually did have to add a little bit more oil to the pan because it was a little bit dry. But once I flip the fish over and brown it on the other side, I'm gonna add the sauce mixture. And this is just some coconut aminos, some sesame oil, some water, and a little bit of pepper. The recipe said to put sugar in the sauce, but one thing I would say is that when you're using coconut aminos. It's a lot sweeter than regular soy sauce, so I'm gonna leave the sugar out. I think that'll be best. And then I chopped up some green onions, so I'll add those as well. All right, so you can see when I turn this over, it's nice and brown on the other side. That's one thing that cornstarch helps with, and a lot of Asian dishes will call for like coating the protein or the meat in cornstarch before you fry it, and that's what gives it kind of that crispy coating. Obviously we're going to put sauce in here, but the cornstarch will also help thicken up the sauce as well. All right, so we are going to add in back the ginger and our scallions and gonna sizzle. All right, now I'm going to turn the heat off. All right, so I wish you guys could smell this. It smells so delicious. I can't wait to try it. I knew there wasn't a lot of sauce, so definitely it all got absorbed, but it's kind of like coating the fish now, which looks really good. So I'm gonna let this rest for a little bit just to make sure that all the fish is cooked through, and then I'll plate everything up. We'll do a taste test. All right, well, I'm pretty excited to eat this. So I've got my sesame noodles here with some green onion and furikake seasoning, some steamed broccoli, and the halibut. All right, let's give this a taste. And I'm gonna call everyone down here and eat. I just wanted to taste it on camera for you guys. All right, that sesame noodle recipe is legit. I definitely recommend that. It's been like hard for me to find like an Asian noodle recipe that doesn't have like a bunch of like extra stuff in it, because my kids normally just like the plain ones, but I definitely recommend this. I think it's good even without like the seasoning and stuff on top, and kids would definitely love it. All right, I'm gonna taste the halibut. Halibut is like a newer fish that I've been cooking with. That is fantastic. Oh wow, make that ASAP. Everyone is gonna love this. You know what it reminds me of? This is gonna sound weird, but like the cornstarch coating just makes it a little bit like crispy on the outside. It almost tastes like it's fried fish. You know, like deep fried fish? I know it's not, but that's legit. Wow. Yum. I'm so impressed with that recipe. All right, so I'm gonna call down everyone to eat, and we're gonna eat dinner.
2 hours later.
All right, so Gwyneth likes to have a cocktail at the end of the night, and she says that when she makes her cocktails, she's like an old Jewish man. So she either drinks Gibson, is that what it's called? Gibson, which is a vodka martini with onions in it, or Japanese whiskey on the rocks. So Adam has prepared me a Japanese whiskey on the rocks. I don't drink like this.
Murphy.
No. Is that really how you drink that?
Yeah.
You just drink it like that?
Yeah. Here, give me the bottle. Or give me the glass.
This is poison. Man, she's hardcore. She drinks that.
I told you. That's what I drink all the time is whiskey. This is just, I'm not a big fan of it because it's very peaty.
Like grass?
Heavy peat flavor to it that I don't really care for.
I don't know, man. I can't just drink liquor like that. It's not for me.
Sorry.
Chug, chug, chug.
You videotaping?
Yeah.
Or you're recording? Sorry, I made it a little heavy.
Heavy with what?
No, I mean, it's the right proportion. I put it, it's probably enough for 2 glasses. I put all of it in 1 glass.
Bottoms up. Well, this is dry vermouth vodka with the, what are they called? Pickled onions?
Pickled onions, yeah, cocktail onions.
It's an onion drink.
Onion drink. No?
I mean, is it supposed to be colder?
No.
Did you shake it with ice?
I stirred it with ice.
Oh, it's supposed to be stirred. Stirred, not shaken.
No. Shaken, not stirred is a James Bond set,
I know what it is.
Technically, it's supposed to be stirred. And then you just chill the glass. Nope.
I don't know, man. I'll leave it to Gwyneth. If I drank this whole thing, I'd be on the floor. Faux show. Because that's a lot of vodka.
Well, so that should have been for 2 people.
Adam can drink that. Chug it. All right, I'll stick with, I don't even know, wine. I'll stick with wine. Well, that was fun. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me on today's video. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you have any suggestions about who I should eat like next, let me know. Some of you have said like Rachel Ray, Pioneer Woman, Oprah. The thing is that I need to find a reference point. So like for example, Rachel Ray, I would love to do, you know, eat like her for a day because I'm a huge fan of hers, but I can't really find a source of like what she eats or like a video or anything. So if you have like a source that I can look at, that would be awesome too. And don't forget to check out Your Super. I'll have all the information in the description box below. You can get a discount on Gut Feeling. It is awesome. I have really enjoyed taking it every day, and like I said, it really has helped with my bloating and regularity and all of those things that are TMI. But I know that some of you guys are looking for the same type of stuff just to kind of help with your overall wellness, and especially on days that we don't get a ton of veggies in, I think it can be beneficial for that too. So thanks again for being here. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.